Hello, my name is Kevin Wilson,
And I'm Danielle Grapes.
and we are from the Grayson County High School DECA chapter. DECA is a high school club, and it is an association of marketing and business students. Through DECA, we help the community out through many community service work, and we also raise money for many charities such as muscular dystrophy and autism. Also with DECA, we do competition. We compete at the regional, the state, and the national level. Our project is financial literacy promotion. We go throughout all the elementary schools, the middle school, the high school, and even adult classes and teach financial education. And today we would like to share a presentation with you.
The first step on becoming financially literate is to find a job. Now, it can be hard to find a job, but we plan on giving you the correct steps to learn how to find one and obtain one. You may have to start at an entry-level job, but you can always move up the career ladder later. Also, it's important to understand the importance of financial literacy, what it is, and how you can use it, and how that pertains to you.
The first thing to think about when how to get a job is to know your rights. Talk to your probation officer and your career counselor and know your rights. Know which offenses are on your record so you know which jobs that you can apply for and which ones you can't. Know what employee, I'll edit this part out. Hello, my name is Kevin Wilson,
And I'm Danielle Grapes.
and we are from the Grayson County High School DECA chapter. DECA is a high school club, and it is also an association of marketing and business students. Through DECA, we do many community service work throughout our community and also help to raise money for many charities such as muscular dystrophy and autism. Also through DECA, we compete. We compete at the regional, the state, and the national level. Our competition subject is financial literacy promotion. Together, we travel through all the elementary schools in our community, the middle school, the high school, and also adult classes. And today, we would like to share a presentation with you.
The beginning step to becoming financially literate is to find a job. Now, it can be hard to find a job, but we hope that we will give you the tools and knowledge so you can learn how to obtain one. Also, you may have to start in an entry-level job where you may not get paid as much or as good benefits, but you can always move up the career ladder later. It is also important to understand the importance of financial literacy so that you know how it pertains to you.
There are many things to look at when you're thinking about how to get a job. First, you must know your rights. Start off by talking to your probation officer or your career counselor. Let them tell you what your rights are so you can understand which jobs you can apply for and which you cannot based on your offenses. Know what employers are allowed to consider when looking at your applications. And also, in looking for a job, start off by talking to your personal connections. Many businesses will hire within before they even post a job, so it's good to have those inside connections to help you get a job. Start small and work your way up. No one starts off the beginning at a high-level job making a lot of money. You always must start small and work your way up the ladder. When filling out your applications and talking to potential employers, always be honest. The best thing to do is just be honest and lay everything out there from the beginning. Lastly, try to get offenses sealed off your record. In order to do this, you must get a pardon from the governor.
Whenever you obtain a job, there are always basic benefits inquired. The first one would be workers' compensation in case you are hurt on the job, retirement and disability for whenever you become 65 or older, then you may retire, and this comes with benefits. Also, paying taxes, which benefits the unemployed, and complying with the Federal Family and Medical Leave, or the FMLA, and this is in case you have to take medical leave off work or a pregnancy.
Securing your job. The number one thing you want to do in order to secure your job is always show up for work on time. The number one problem employers have when looking to hire new people is absenteeism and lateness. The next thing you want to do is always be honest with your employer. Never try to get out of a difficult situation by lying. Always follow directions and ask any questions if you have any. It's better to ask a question than to mess up later. Always be a team player. Always treat your co-workers with respect and be nice to them and help them out anytime that they might need it. And always keep a positive attitude.
Here is some basic financial education terminology that you will need to know for the workplace. First of all, gross income, and this is the money that you receive before taxes are taken out. And then net income is the money that you have after your taxes have been taken out. Interest, and that is the money that you have to pay for borrowing money from the bank, for a credit card. The APR is an annual percentage rate, and that is a percentage rate that you see as a yearly percentage on how much interest you have to pay. And credit is the ability for a customer to obtain goods or services by buying the items now and sending a payment in later.
Some more terminology would be credit score. This is a number assigned to each individual person with a score that indicates their ability to pay back a loan. Bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is a process where an individual is legally declared bankrupt and their assets and financial affairs are admonished by an appointed trustee. Liability is a financial obligation or amount owed, and a loan is a financial agreement where someone borrows money from a lender and then that money is paid back over a specific period of time with interest. Some more terminology would be credit score. Credit score is a number that an individual person is assigned indicating their ability to pay back a loan. A credit score can range anywhere from 300 up to 900, with the higher the number being the better, therefore paying less interest. Bankruptcy is a process where an individual is legally declared bankrupt and their assets and financial affairs are admonished by an appointed trustee. A liability is a financial obligation or amount owed, and a loan is a financial agreement where someone borrows money from a lender and then that money is paid back over a specific amount of time with interest.
After you obtain a job, it is important to keep and maintain a budget. The first way to create a budget is to set a goal. Now this can be any sort of goal ranging from just creating a budget, maintaining your budget, or it can be all the way up to buying a house or a car. The second step is to set aside time to create a budget. If you don't have any time to create your budget, then you could make mistakes or write it incorrectly. The third step is to determine your priorities for spending. You need to know what you have to spend your money on or what you want to spend your money on, so you know how much you'll be spending and knowing how much you'll have left over. Step 4 is to record all of your purchases, and this goes along with knowing how much money you have spent that month. And finally, the last step is to edit your budget at the beginning of every month in case there have been changes or you need to make changes, such as if there have been an emergency.
Maintaining a budget. There are many important things to look at to know how to maintain a budget. First, you must understand your financial state. You must understand how much money you have available to spend that month and how much you need to set aside for savings. You also need to create a strict budget in order to keep you within that budget and never veer off of it. Carry a calculator with you. Today, almost every phone has a calculator, but if not, carry a calculator with you every time you go shopping to calculate how much money you're spending and how much money you have left for that week or that month. Check your budget frequently. Any chance you get, set aside time and check that budget and make sure it is correct and up to date. And the most important thing you can do when creating a budget is save your money. Unexpected expenses will come up and you must have money there in order to pay for those.
Whenever you go out and get a job, then you will start to need insurance. Insurance is a practice or arrangement by which a company or government agency guarantees a certain amount of compensation for a loss, damage, illness, or maybe a death in the family. And in return, you have to pay a monthly premium. Some examples of some types of insurance are health, automobile, life, and homeowners or renters. Health insurance is for any health problems that may arise within you and your family. Life insurance occurs if there is a death in the family. Automobile insurance covers you in case you are in an accident. And homeowners or renters insurance covers your items in your home and your house in case there is a natural disaster such as a tornado or a fire.
Understand credit. You must understand credit if you are ever to get a loan, a mortgage, or a credit card. You must understand that you have to pay back all of the money that you borrowed with an interest rate. This is when credit score comes into play. If you have a higher credit score, your interest rate will be lower, therefore you'll have to pay back less money. Credit reports. You can get up to one free credit report a year from all 3 of the different credit reporting companies. You must check your credit score as often as you can to make sure it's up to date and correct. If there's incorrect information on it, you'll have to dispute it, and it'll take 35 to 40 days to get that information off of your credit report. Any incorrect credit information on your credit report can affect your credit score, preventing you from getting that loan or mortgage. Credit applications. A credit application is required anytime you get a loan, a mortgage, or credit card. It's basically a contract with the lender saying you will pay back that money and interest.
Now here are some tips for avoiding debt once you create your budget. The first is to always try and pay with cash and only use credit cards when necessary. If you pay with cash, then you do not have to worry about paying a minimum payment with interest at the end of the month or the months to come. Also, stay within your budget, because if you stay within your budget and have leftover money in savings, then you will never have to veer off of it and end up in debt. Also, keep a record of all purchases that you had throughout the month so that you know what you have spent, so you know how much you have left. And always try and avoid scams.
Finally, retirement. It is never too early to start planning for retirement, so begin right now. Determine how you'd like to spend your retirement. Would you like to be able to live easy and afford everything, or have to live paycheck to paycheck? Evaluate your health. You must know what kind of health problems you have, because that could prevent you from having to stop working early or increase your insurance. Determine when to collect Social Security. You must sit down with someone and determine how soon you should start collecting your Social Security. I think we need to read through that slide. Okay, what would be? Finally, we're going to talk to you about retirement. It is never too early to begin planning for your retirement, so start right now. Determine how you'd like to spend your retirement. Would you like to live very comfortably or have to rely on the paycheck to paycheck? Evaluate your health. Health can affect how long you're going to be able to work and also how much your insurance could be. Determine when you need to start collecting your Social Security. Sit down with your financial advisor and let them advise you on when would be the best time for you to start. Decide how much you want to work. Look at your hobbies and your interests and think if there are ways that you can turn those in to make more money. Prepare for the unexpected. There will always be unexpected expenses occur, and that is why you save your money so you can pay for those without having to use a credit card. And always stick to your plan.
We would now like to thank you for listening to our financial education presentation in hopes that we have taught you how to get a job, maintain your job, create a budget, maintain your budget, and how to avoid staying out of debt. Shall we do that ending? We would now like to thank you for listening to our financial education presentation in hopes that we have taught you how to create a budget, get a job, how to start planning for retirement, and how to stay out of debt. Thank you.